What if I told you that the story you've been holding around money is the exact thing that's blocking you from the financial abundance, consistency, and support that you desire? We all have a money story, but unfortunately, most of us go around our life and work not really conscious of how that story is playing out into our reality. Years ago, I got honest about my money story and I actually wrote a very angry letter to money that allowed me to finally break through a lot of the things that were blocking me from financial success and abundance. In this video, I'm going to be guiding you through a series of prompts that will help you get brutally honest about what the story you're holding around money is and how that is stopping you or maybe having you repeat the same negative cycle when it comes to your financial situation. Whether you are simply looking to attract more or you're trying to figure out what the problem is and why money seems to evade you, this video will help you really get clear on crafting your money story and rewriting it to something much more empowering. I am Natanya Bravo. I am a transformational business and mindset coach, and I am obsessed with helping you create the life and business of your dreams. Please go ahead and subscribe and like this video, and let's dive in. We've all heard the phrases filthy rich or money doesn't grow on trees. So it's no wonder that we have this tormented relationship with the thing that we actually need to survive in our modern world. We need money to buy food. We need money to house ourselves. And so, how can we actually desire money when we have all these negative, limiting beliefs around the topic? Your money story is the narrative that you likely picked up from a very young age, no fault of your own, about what money is it hard to get, what it means in your life. And that story is constantly running in the background in your everyday interactions, from when you go and pay for your groceries to when a client offers you money to your work. Your money story is always there. And that's why we want to make sure that we clean it up. Because the problem is, most of us aren't really aware of these unconscious beliefs. A lot of the things that I uncovered when I started to dive deep into my money story shocked me. Because logically, I would say, no, I don't believe that about money. But subconsciously, there was something there. And until you're able to really get to the root, it will always block you from the financial abundance and success that you desire. Money is one of the most triggering and talked about topics, but if we really get down to it, it was made up. Who said that this piece of paper means something? We as a society have decided what the meaning is. And unfortunately, it has caused a lot of division and a lot of stress for those of us who feel like we can just never figure it out. I want to help you really start to uncover what some of those limiting beliefs are that, again, are probably going to surprise you. I'm going to guide you through these prompts, which I actually am not sure who initially created these. I did not. I've done this exercise with a few of my different mentors. So I actually don't know who created these prompts, but I do find them very simple and effective in uncovering those hidden beliefs. I just want to emphasize the key is to go with your first intuitive response, which will likely just come up in your mind. Don't overthink it. It's not something you have to be like, how would I finish that prompt? So I'm going to say a few words and pause. And the pause is the blank that your subconscious mind will fill in. You really don't have to think about this. There is going to be a response that immediately pops up and it might be a bit surprising. Please note the responses that come up. You might want to jot them down in a journal just so that you remember, because again, a lot of these things are so deeply buried into our subconscious that we don't even know they're there. So, prompt number one, my biggest fear around money is, this prompt usually unearths some of your deepest fears and anxieties around money. I remember the first time I asked myself this question, what came up for me was that I'm going to lose it all. Again, there was no logical, rational reason of why I felt that, but that was the intuitive response that came up. Once I knew that logically and understood that, I started to see, wow, that actually makes sense. That's probably why I'm in a perpetuating cycle of every time I bring in more money, it automatically is gone because I am subconsciously creating that reality. Prompt number two, my early experience with money as a child was. My early experience with money as a child was. Now, this is something that usually brings up things from childhood. So, how was money talked about in your household? Was it a taboo topic? Was it a stressful topic? Was it something where arguments were formed around it? The answer for this is going to be different for everyone, but it's also the key that will unlock a lot of the perspective that you subconsciously hold around money right now. Number three, money equals. The first time that I did this, I said stress. Why on earth would I be able to hold on to money and actually want to attract money if subconsciously I believe that having money is stressful? Of course, money gonna run away from me. No one wants to be stressed. And so, again, this is just another prompt to start to dig into that subconscious belief systems, even if logically you're like, no, money's freedom, money's great, money's love. Whatever comes up for you first is the actual response of what's running in the background of your life right now. Next, when I have money, I usually so my response to this the first time was spend it, which again, I actually now, having done a lot of money work, do believe in circulating money and spending it because I believe that what I spend is going to come back to me tenfold. But at the time, that was not the case. And so even just putting this out and onto paper helped me really start to see some of the patterns that I was creating unconsciously. Next prompt, in order to have more money, I would need to in order to have more money, I would need to. So, my response to this, and I'm kind of embarrassed to say it, was that I would need to be smarter. In the background of my mind, somewhere was telling me that I was not smart enough to have more money than I currently had at the time. And that's simply not true. I mean, we all know some people who we probably are a bit smarter of that maybe have a little more money than us, right? But again, I needed to uncover that story to be able to start to rewrite that story. Next prompt, my father felt that money was. Now, again, as you can imagine, when we're children, the primary caregivers, so whether that is a father or other male figure in your life that you want to supplement there, teach us a lot about how to see the world, about how to see ourselves. And so their beliefs around money are ultimately going to pass on to us. So it's really important to get clear on what are those first beliefs and energy that we witnessed other people modeling, our role models, our parents, the people that raised us around money. And on that same thing for our next prompt, my mother felt money was. My mother felt money was. Same concept here. You can obviously replace that if you had a different caregiver that represented the mother role in your life, but really important to get clear on here. In my family, money caused. So obviously, this one is really highlighting what did this cause? Was money a sense of peace in your family? Did it create freedom or empowerment in your family? Or was it a source of stress and arguments and disappointment in your family? Again, all of that is now feeded into your money story, the beliefs you hold around money, and ultimately the reality that you start to see around money. I'm afraid if I had more money, I would. I'm afraid if I had more money, I would. This prompt really forces you to confront any fears or anxiety or beliefs you hold around having more money than you currently do. So it could be that it's going to change you, that you won't have friends, that you'll become angry because terms like being filthy rich have really created an idea that money can be bad, being wealthy can be bad. And I'm sorry, but we all know wealthy people who are bad. We all know poor people who are bad. I do not believe that money is the issue. I think that, again, we oftentimes see a lot of the people with a lot of money more often than we do those without. And so that's highlighted a little bit more, which is where I think that term filthy rich came from. People with money are what beliefs do you hold around people who have more money than you? Do you believe they're greedy? Do you believe they're just lucky and maybe you're not lucky? Do you believe that they're special and maybe you're not special? So, again, we're really starting to unearth some of those hidden beliefs. And last but not least, if I could afford it, I would. If I could afford it, I would. This is an opportunity to see if you took off all limitations, what would you be doing right now? Sometimes we are living our lives out of alignment because of what feels like financial constraints. And I get that. It's also really important to be clear on what it is that you might be holding back on due to money. What are you holding back on being, doing, or saying because of your current money reality and your current money story? Now that you've uncovered some of those unconscious beliefs, I want you to actually write a letter to money. And you are going to write this letter as if money was a person. And I don't want you to hold back. You can be angry. And I am saying this because I was very angry the first time. I remember writing things like, "Money, I'm so angry at you. Every time I get you, you go away. I don't know how to control you. I feel like I have to be smarter to have more of you. I feel like I work so hard and you never give me enough. I feel like I give so much money and all you do is take from me." I just had a really honest conversation. And it actually brought me to tears the first time I wrote this money story because I realized how much anger I had inside towards money, which, again, let's just keep in context here. It is a made up concept. It is a concept that helps our world and economy grow, but ultimately it's made up. It's numbers on a page, it is a piece of paper, but yet it has our emotional state so bogged up that it oftentimes it's blocking the flow inwards. Doing this work, uncovering my unconscious beliefs, writing my story to money really helped not only how I felt emotionally, but what I actually started to see in my reality. My business became more consistent and started to grow. I felt more confident and clear when I was actually working with clients because if you have a business, you've probably experienced the feeling of having some fear or anxiety around asking for money, for being paid for your work because we make it mean so much. It's almost as if money is a dirty word that we're not supposed to talk about unless we absolutely have to. And even if we absolutely have to, we keep it really minimal and we don't want to say too much. And what if none of that is true? What if all of that is made up? I really want to encourage you, you might have to go back and watch this video a few times, go through the prompts, first answer that comes to mind, unconscious beliefs, unlock those, write those down, and then write your money story. Once you've written that money story, you can burn it, rip it up, get rid of it. That is no more. And I would encourage you to start writing out a new story, new beliefs that you actually desire to hold about money because it does play such a big role in all of our lives. Why not have a good relationship with it? In a future video, I'm going to talk a little bit more about how I actually started to shift some of those beliefs once I did uncover that money story. But really doing this work was the very first step. And very quickly after, I started to see actual shifts in my finances going in the direction I actually wanted them to go. I do a lot of this work in my coaching programs where I help my clients create and grow thriving businesses. If that's something you're interested in, check out my free classes below. And I'd love to hear from you. So if you can please comment below and maybe let me know what was the most surprising response that came up for you. Again, a lot of my responses the first time I did this exercise, I was like, what? I don't think that. Yes, I do, apparently. If this video was helpful, please, as always, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I cannot wait to see you on the next one.